Miss Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Miss Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Miss Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. And I'm like, ay, ay, ay. That's the case to say, ay, ay, ay. Oh my goodness gracious. So, interesting things happening in the world, but I do not want to continue to elaborate on that because there's enough people talking about it. So I'd rather change topics because we need to light it up. And, like everything, it shall pass. So, but let's talk about AI. One of the reasons is I am more involved within the AI world, and it's very interesting actually. A lot of things that we can do with AI, and I know a lot of people are afraid and worried. Yes, there is an expansion in knowledge of AI everywhere, for sure. And this is part of us. This is an extension of who we are, actually. So if you go that route, that AI actually can help your job even better than you think it is. It can take care of the boring task, the repetitive task, so you don't have to do it. I know in the automotive world now you got more automation with when building cars, which is nice because it brings better precisions on some of the stuff than the robotic world actually doing it, because the robotic has been doing it for years. In case people don't realize, this is kind of a form of AI, but it evolved, and AI and creativity, is starting to revolutionize the art, the music, the literature. So artificial intelligence has proven itself to be transformative force across multiple industries, and we're seeing it more and more. And around the world of creativity is not an exception either. There is no exception to it either, because it's part of it. While creativity has traditionally been viewed as a distinctly human trait, AI is challenging this notion right now, because we like to move when we do innovation. We kind of change the status quo from what we're doing to basically heading the unknown and changing everything. This is part of the evolution where we have for centuries been doing. So the challenge, this notion is contributing to the creation of arts, music, and literature in a way that were previously unimaginable. One of the most noticeable applications of AI in the creative world is AI generated art. Algorithm like GANs, which is called, this is the acronym, but the name is Generative Adversarial Network, have enabled machine to create visually stunning pieces that mimics various artistic styles, from the brushstroke of Van Gogh to the surreal world of Salvador Dali. That's amazing. This is great. When a machine can replicate that, which gonna make it more difficult for people who like to make fake. But when you're looking at that, it's kind of great to see the evolution, picking up, learning because it analyzes thousands of images to learn the pattern, the technique, subtitles behind different artistic genres, because there is so many genres. Then you've got, it's nice that it is synthesized to bring it live. Once trained, the AI can produce artwork that is not only visually appealing but also conceptually groundbreaking. You can mix and match. You can do things that we couldn't have done in the past. So it's quite interesting. And this has led to the creation of arts that push boundaries, offering novel perspectives on creativity. It doesn't, and this is what people need to understand, it doesn't remove people and the creative arts than we do. I do have pieces, and I draw. Thanks to Miss Charlotte, actually, she was able to salvage them from the water, from the fire. The water actually added to it, to be honest with you, because mine are all dry pastel. And even though I use, because this is one of the oldest technique to use when you want to seal dry pastel, is you use like Aquafresh, or you use a very strong, cheap air. What do you call it? I forgot this hairspray. Thank you, hairspray. It's like, thank you, universe. That is hairspray. And during the time that it went underwater, actually, it turned the dry, made it wet, and looks even more stunning. The colors actually popped even more because after I do the hairspray, generally it pops the color as well. But he fixed the pastel so it doesn't or should not fade away in the long run unless it's exposed permanently to the sun, which I never did on any of my pieces because I do know that. But it's very interesting when you add AI into the mix. So people I know are a little concerned, worried. Yes, it's gonna cost money. When some of the pieces are gonna be extremely expensive, but it's easier to do some of the stuff as well when you see AI can reproduce some of the artwork or get the style and modernize. Because when you're looking at not even Warhol, because it was a technique, but when you're looking at the pointillism that was done from the old days, now this AI can reproduce, but more in a modern way, modern building, which we didn't have it in the past. So this is something that could be extremely interesting to see and people to acquire it as well. The other thing too, there is some of them what they call it, they are on loan or virtual as well, which is even better. I've seen it. It was like, holy crapola. This was to me wrong. Yeah, it was just phenomenal to see it. To just see that it was a loan, but it is virtual as well. Virtual comes now more and more. It doesn't mean that not having a piece of art at home will be gone. No, it's a mix of modern and the old-fashioned way. So those are very interesting when you're looking at the art. And yes, it can be produced faster. So it can produce the artwork, yeah, that is visually appealing, and but also conceptually great ranking, because again, it can mix a lot of things. If you think about it, if you mix the pointillism with the fauvism and other style, it could really turn something very interesting that we would have never thought about it too. So that's part of the evolution, but also making wave in music, because composers and music are now utilizing AI powered tools to generate new melodies, harmonies, and arrangement. One prominent example is OpenAI MuseNet, a deep learning model capable of generating music across various genres, including classical, which I love my classical, jazz, awesome, and pop. So the beauty of AI in music lies in its ability to blend elements from different genres and produce compositions that are both novel and recognizable. You know what that reminds me? If you're listening to my intro, especially the exit, the end of the show, because it's the longer version, this is not produced by AI. This is produced by my beautiful, loving friend, my bro, Genersino, who actually, if I could compute him, would be an AI person, but he's a real person. He's a composer, and he's somebody who actually, sorry about that. I'm modifying a little bit the way the microphone is here. Who combined the style from Asian to Sound of Wales, water. It's is the way he's doing it. Now AI now does that as well, meaning mixing all of the genre and come up with something brand new, different, bra- um, groundbreaking. This is the beauty of AI. The music, it's blending elements. It's finding a way to produce and compose that are both novel and recognizable. This is beautiful. AI isn't just an assistant to musicians, it becomes a collaborator, which makes it easier. When you start to understand AI can be your collaborator, not your enemy, not the one who's going to take over your job, because that's one of the biggest things people are afraid of. They can, they are capable of suggesting melodies or assisting in a composition of full orchestral works. So imagine that the work of somebody will take him maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years, who knows, who to compose a melody, an opera, a story, a beautiful musical. Instead of taking that long, when they have the when you have the collaboration of AI, this is where you really ground yourself and go even faster or beyond everything. That to me is a help. It's that little magic that when you ask AI something and you have an idea, then AI can profane, can really be granular with it, and maybe can come up with something slightly different you wouldn't ever think about it. This is what is so amazing. Now, when we're looking in literature, AI has been used to generate stories, poetry, and even dialogue, blogs, natural language processing NLP models such as GPT. With GPT, I'm using GPT, and a lot of people around the world are using GPT, which is generative pre-trained transformer. It can create text that mimics human writing style, sometimes to the point where it's indistinguishable. Oh my goodness, I cannot even say the word. Oh, the word, not the world. Indistinguishable. Here we go. See, when I need to slow down, I need to slow down, and it can come out perfectly from a worked pen by a person. So basically, if AI, you give AI a book or something, it's going to read it, and you ask, I want to tell her a new story with that style, it will tell her the author. And that is great for the author too, because at that point, the author can let AI run when it analyzes all of those books and do something else as well, that the author or the creator are now using AI as a tool to brainstorm ideas, generate plots, and overcoming the writer's block, because writer's block are real. It happened to me with my blogs, and came up with something new, fresh, and you're like, okay, I have a block here, I cannot write. So it makes it harder once in a while when you get the writer's block. But when you have AI as your assistant, again, this is a tool to help you. That's what it is. So while AI generated stories and still in their infancy, the potential for AI to help craft narratives, whether in novels, script, or short stories, is immense. It's unbelievable. It's the sky is the limit, literally. It allows creators to explore new ways of storytelling by pushing beyond human limitations. And it does actually. So it's that interesting to work with AI. It's fascinating to work with AI. So despite AI's growing role in creativity, there is an ongoing debate about the authenticity of AI generated work. Can a machine truly be creative, or is it simply regurgitating patterns based on the data it's been trained on? I will argue the point that AI lacks the emotional depth in intuition that human creators bring to the vision, which is true. That's what I said it earlier in a painting, because when you paint, you do painting, when you create that piece, you're putting a part of yourself, you're putting the emotion. When you're writing, you put the emotion, the feeling, so people will feel something when you're reading the book, where there is a plot and you're in suspense, or when you're looking at a piece that is beautiful art, and you can feel the love coming out of it because the artist put its love in there. That's what it is. At this point, it can mimic the work, the words, it can mimic the aesthetic, but it doesn't have the feeling at this point of time. It might later on, that's possible to try to do that, but that's going to be more interesting with humanoid at that point to have the feeling. um, it other suggests that AI simply it's another tool for the artists and creators to express their vision, which is nice. It's a nice way to do it. The future of AI and creativity is likely to be a blend of both perspectives, for sure, with AI serving as a powerful assistant and a catalyst for human creativity rather than a replacement for it. And I think there's a big misconception into AI. I know a lot of people are worried about losing their job, and I have something. I have what do you call it? Hmm, that's interesting. Uh, I have something that's going to be coming soon because I talked about being worried of as an article for my blog. Yes, I'm back doing my blogs. UPKA. Yes, UPKA ma. But being inspired with AI and being in a little bit swimming within the AI world, it's nice to put some stuff out there. And one of them, I think it's the biggest thing for most people. When we talk about AI, they're always thinking about my job's going to be removed. And one of the things I'm going to be starting to say and regarding of AI is a tool to simplify your task. It's not eliminating your job. It's for you to learn to work with AI, and it's changing your job. It's changing your position. It's make you evolve, meaning some of the redundant tasks you were doing in the past, you can automate them so you can do something else. When I was working for companies, I automated things. That was my thing, automating things. I don't know, I was 30 years ahead of everybody on this one when I think about it. Not being arrogant at all, but this is what I've been doing in the 90s, okay? Mid 90s. And I always automated everything because I remove myself from the equation. I don't need to babysit you. I don't want you to be dependable of me. I want you to get all of your resources you need and you do your job. I am not here to babysit you. So I automated a lot of things for people to whatever they needed, report, KPI, whatever the deal was. I automated everything so they were able to reach their data whenever they needed. They did not need it to try to ping me. That's something people don't understand. Same thing in the marketing world. Same thing in product. When you do your products, whatever you have, services, automation will help you for those simple tasks. You don't have to do them. The AI, the robots can do it. Think about it. You don't want the robots taking your spot. The robot's going to do the job for you. It's your personal assistant. And it's not too difficult to do when you talk about automation, but your partner with AI, you're teaching AI what you want. It takes a little bit doing to do that, to go back and forth with AI. I did it. I was looking at my resumes and I said, I'm going to literally redo my resume. I dumped the resume in ChatGPT and I said, okay, I want this, and that. Go. Came up with something else. Came up with a new format. A couple of things changed. I did not like a couple of things. I asked again. I defined it more and more, refined it more and more, and I got what I was looking for. So it's like, okay, instead of spending a couple of hours to do things and I say, okay, what do I want? What do I want as a format? What do I want to do this? Well, takes like a minute to do it. You dump, do it, like it, refine, you're done. So utilize this as your assistant. It's not cheat sheet. It's not, cheat sheet, I'm cheating. No, you're not. You're utilizing the skill set. And that's what it is. That's what the writers are doing. That's what the musicians are doing. It adds to the composition. It brings more to the art and to what we do on a daily basis. So I know people are afraid, says, oh my God, the AI is here, everybody's going to kick me out. No, no, no. Learn AI. Don't be afraid of AI. Yeah, it's not going to be making your coffee. It's not going to be walking around in the office. It's doing an automated, simple task that you don't have to do so you can focus on something else. You can tell AI what you need, and AI will do it for you. This is as simple that I can explain than this. But the psychosis and the idea of the robot world, oh my God, we're going to be invaded. Why don't we leave it for another day? Because seriously, we got so much advantage to take about AI to do what we've got to do. If we're doing it right and not abusing it and go to the extreme, then you can exponentially help yourself and your company. So, all my love, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Universe Podcast.